The thunder roared like a wounded beast, tearing through the blackened sky. Rain lashed against the windows of Clara's isolated mountain cabin, each droplet hitting the glass like a bullet. Lightning split the night, illuminating the jagged peaks outside. Inside, Clara huddled by the wood stove, her trembling hands wrapped around a chipped mug of tea. The storm had trapped her for days, cutting off power and burying the dirt road in mudslides. Silence had become her only companion, until a sound cut through the chaos. A whimper, faint, desperate. Clara froze, her mug halfway to her lips. Was it the wind? Another whimper, sharper this time, followed by a thud against the door. Her heart hammered as she stood, the mug clattering onto the table. The noise came again, a scratching, pleading rhythm. She grabbed a flashlight, its beam shaking as she approached the door. The wooden frame shuddered under another impact. An animal? A person? Swallowing fear, she turned the knob. A gust of wind threw the door wide, drenching her in icy rain. There, crumpled on the porch, was a soaked Siberian Husky. Her fur clung to her skeletal frame, ribs visible beneath matted gray and white fur. Beneath her, two tiny pups squirmed, their eyes still sealed shut. The mother dog lifted her head, blue eyes blazing with a mix of defiance and despair. A fresh-cut martyr shoulder, blood mingling with rainwater. Clara's breath caught. "Oh, God!" The dog tried to rise, but her legs buckled. The pups whimpered, their cries swallowed by the storm. Without thinking, Clara lunged forward, dragging the trio inside. The door slammed shut, but the dog's panic didn't fade. She snarled weakly, shielding her pups as Clara backed away, hands raised. "Easy. I'm not going to hurt you," Clara whispered, her voice trembling. The husky's growl dissolved into a whine. Her head drooped, exhaustion winning. Clara grabbed towels, draping them over the shivering heap. The pups nuzzled their mother, their tiny mouths searching for milk that wasn't there. "You're starving," Clara murmured, tears pricking her eyes. She'd seen this before, years ago, as a paramedic. The hollow look of survival. But this was different. The storm raged for hours. Clara fed the mother scraps of chicken broth, hand-feeding her while the pups slept. She named her Luna for her piercing eyes, and the pups Storm and Ember. Luna flinched at every touch, her gaze darting to the door. She's waiting for something or someone. By dawn, the rain stopped. Clara stepped onto the porch, surveying the mud-streaked valley. Luna followed, limping, her ears pricked toward the tree line. A low growl rumbled in her throat. "What is it?" Clara squinted. A shadow moved in the pines. A man, tall, his face obscured by a hood. Luna's growl turned feral, her hackles rising. "Hey!" Clara shouted. The figure vanished. Days passed. Luna regained strength, her weary eyes softening when Clara sang old folk songs by the fire. The pups grew plump, their eyes opening to a world of warmth. But the shadow returned, every night, lingering at the forest's edge. One evening, Clara found Luna digging frantically under the porch. Beneath the mud was a collar, snapped in half, engraved, "Property of Black Ridge Kennels." A Google search chilled her, illegal breeder, animal cruelty charges, dog disposed of when deemed useless. That night, the man returned. He kicked the door open, reeking of whiskey. "You've got my dog." Luna launched herself at him, teeth bared. Clara grabbed her rifle. "Get out!" The man sneered. "That bitch belongs to me. So do her mutts. They're not yours anymore." Clara's finger hovered over the trigger. A standoff. Luna's snarls echoed. Then sirens. The man fled, but not before hissing, "This ain't over." Weeks later, Luna lay by the hearth, Storm and Ember gnawing her tail. Clara smiled, stroking her fur. "You're home now." The sheriff had shut down Black Ridge Kennels. Luna's scars would fade, but her courage? Unbreakable. Even in the darkest storms, kindness can be a lighthouse. A single act of courage, whether from a human or a rescued soul, can rewrite destinies.